Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the lack of videos. The weather just hasn't been as active. I mean, it has been, but not too much, not enough activity in the way of talking about it. But we're back with another video today. So we're talking about a couple different things for today. But for starters, we're going to look at the outlook as we do have a marginal risk in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, another one down in Louisiana, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and then another one in Florida and Georgia. Tornado, there are 2% chance areas of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of a point in the green. One in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, and then the other one in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. Wind, 5% chances of seeing wind gusts of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles of a point in the brown. One in Florida and Georgia, and the other in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Hail, 5% chance of seeing hail of 1 inch diameter or larger than 25 miles of a point in the brown in the Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, and then Florida and Georgia. That was today's outlook. Tomorrow, we do have two slight risks, one in Texas and the other one in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia. And then a marginal risk in Texas and in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. Tornadoes, a 2% tornado threat within 25 miles of a point in the green down in Texas. Wind, 15% chance of seeing wind gusts of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles of a point in the yellow down in Texas, and then in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, and West Virginia. And then hail, we do have another, again, 15% chance of seeing hail of 1 inch diameter or larger than 25 miles of a point. One in Texas, and the other one being in Kentucky, Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina. Day 3, as of now, we have a marginal risk on the East Coast, including Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida, with a probabilistic of 5% chance of seeing severe weather within 25 miles of a point in the brown. And then the day 3, day 4, or the day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, and day 8 outlook all seem pretty quiet, but we will go look at pivotal weather as I do have something to show you here. So, depending on where you lived, it was really dependent on where you lived, basically, and I should have made a video earlier. So, right here, we have a low pressure system around Kansas and Oklahoma, or Colorado. But Monday and Tuesday, we had a low pressure system over here on the West Coast, and we had a low pressure system over here in the Ohio Valley, the Midwest and East Coast, right? So, which gave you almost kind of like a odd W shape, which is called an omega block, which it symbolizes the Greek letter for omega, the Greek symbol for omega, I guess I should say. And in between there, you were left with a high pressure system, which basically meant if you were anywhere in between the two low pressure systems, if you were on the northern side of that high pressure system, um, you were expected to see some above average temperatures and dry weather, so lack of moisture, but very warmer than normal temperatures. If you were on the southern half of that high pressure system, down in Texas, you're expected to see, again, above average temperatures, but you're expected to see some form of severe weather. And if you, either way, if you're on the western or eastern low pressure system, you were expected to see below average temperatures with moisture, with rain. So if you were on the low pressure systems, you were, especially this weekend, you're probably seeing cooler temps with moisture. And if you were living anywhere in the high pressure system, if you're in the northern half, you're probably seeing a warm, dry weekend. If you were in the southern half of that, you're probably seeing a warm, wet weekend. So that is that. We will go ahead and look into the future with the Supercell composite here and see when our next, what could be significant system rolls through. So we're at Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, next Tuesday, next Wednesday, next Thursday, next Friday, next Saturday, next Sunday, next Monday, next Tuesday, next Wednesday, next Thursday, next Friday, and so on. So it looks fairly quiet. Some blips here and there, which are subject to change. So we will keep an eye on that. But as of right now, nothing too concerning. But to the back half of May, I do feel could be very active with just how this year has gone. We've had early into months have been active, and then the later ends of other months have been more active. So just keep your mind on that, but always stay weather aware, especially as we are entering peak season for severe weather, especially here in the central United States, here in the Great Plains of Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Iowa, northern Texas, South Dakota, Minnesota, Illinois. We're entering peak season for tornadoes and severe weather. So now is when you need to start paying attention to those warnings and watches, which you should already. But that is going to be it for me today. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new and haven't already. Tell all your friends and family about the channel. We're at 67 subscribers, so we really got to push for the 3 more to get to 70. You know what I will see you in the next one. Peace.